Hey you guys, it's Britt. Tonight we're here to talk for just a couple minutes about some recent Dougherty Dozen content that I came across, and I had some unsolicited opinions as always. So if you're interested, please keep watching. All right, you guys, so I was getting ready to shut it all down, and like I usually do, I start scrolling on social media, and I came across this TikTok that Alicia put out 10 hours ago. And so obviously this went up very early this morning, and I I will have some longer form content coming, but right now I think this is really important because here's the thing. I see a lot of people online when it comes to her picking apart really nonsensical stuff. And can you say, oh, well, it all ties back to the quote message? I guess you could, but in my opinion, I personally don't understand, and I never will understand why making fun of how she looks or saying how food looks like it came out of the dumpster and, watching her makes people sick to their stomach, like they can't even handle what they're looking at. If y'all are at that point where you literally hate this woman that much, please sign off the internet. And if you are spending your time on a toxic side of the internet that applauds this type of behavior, please take a break from the internet. Some of the just really nasty stuff that I see, I don't like Alicia and I don't respect her. I have a lot of issues with the stuff that she has done online. But some of the hateful things that I see online about her, and not only are they put out there, but they are applauded, that's what makes me sick to my stomach. Because you don't have to like her and you don't have to respect her. But if you have emotional intelligence and you're able to carry a conversation like many adults can, it should be able to be had without all of this disgusting vocabulary that I see everywhere. I literally forgot what I was going to say for a second, but when it comes to this video on TikTok, now I'm not going to show it. I will explain what's going on and I will link their TikTok channel down below. I just don't feel comfortable sharing this because I think it's one of the bigger red flags that I talk about with Alicia. She lines up her kids again, and it's the damn roll call. First of all, she tags the Weiss Life, and the Weiss Life lives in California. So if I had to guess, they are probably going to California for their next family vacation. She lines up all the kids. One of the kids says Miami, one says Vegas, one says the beach. A couple have, Disney, obviously, young kids interested in Disney. The one thing that I picked up on this video is the fact that this Kinship girl, who half the time, in my opinion, she doesn't look happy. She doesn't look like she's a willing participant. But with these roll calls, Alicia has to line up all the kids and get an answer from all of them because that's her thing, are the roll calls. This girl is wearing a Be Kind t-shirt that is pulled up. So it's basically crop top, a midriff. I don't know what you would want to call it. She has really tiny, tiny jean shorts on. And again, doesn't look like a willing participant in this roll call. For these Kinship kids to be staying with Alicia, my very basic understanding as just an idiot online is you taking Kinship kids to protect them and care for them for a temporary period of time. Allowing this girl to go onto the internet wearing things that are inappropriate for a young girl her age, when you know that you have fans that are oddly obsessed with her and her brother, is not the point of kinship. You are not protecting this girl. You are dangling her out there in front of these TikTok followers like a carrot on a stick, and I think it's appalling. Say what you want to say. If you think this behavior is acceptable, that's your opinion. I have mine. I don't understand how a parent, again, whose sole job is to protect their children, would allow a child to go on the internet like this. And if you are taking in a kinship, foster, whatever child who has had a really tough start to life and maybe some traumatic experiences and things that they need some help working through, putting them out to all of these creepy TikTok followers is irresponsible and cruel. Here's my opinion about family vacation. I said this when it came to New York over Christmas. Put the camera down. If you are going to vlog, don't post it until after you get back. Don't tell TikTok where you're traveling for once, because as a reminder, all of these unhinged fans that Alicia has, you are giving them a head start to go to the city that you're going to visit. You say a month ahead of time that you're going to go to Disney, you better guarantee that there is at least one person who is going to consider going to Orlando, or they live in Orlando already and they are going to try to meet the Dougherty family because they know that they're going to be in Disney because Alicia announced it a month ahead of time or 2 weeks ahead of time or whatever. There was a video that Alicia did when she first took in these kinship kids, and she talked about how taking them in would negatively impact their social media, quote, careers. And all that I've seen Alicia do is use these kids for more clicks, more views. When she sees that people are thirsting over minor children that she has in her home via kinship placement, she continues to feed them out. And let's fast forward to 10 hours ago where she allows this girl to wear very tight short shorts and a midriff cropped top during a roll call. This has been mentioned before, but if Alicia is doing this outrage marketing, that the idea, upsetting people for clicks and views, how dare you do that off the backs of your children? And especially, how dare you do that off the back of kinship children that came to you for safety and protection? How dare you? Something I've been thinking of recently quite a bit is people want the money and the fame and the attention that comes with social media. That's very clear. You can say that about any of the people that I talk about from a commentary stance. But what I always think about is at what cost? At what cost are you gaining that attention on social media and the money and the clicks and the views? What is the cost of that? Because if you're costing your children being used as props or bait, that's not okay. Like, how do you sleep at night? How do you literally sleep with yourself at night knowing that kids only have you to rely on to protect them? And look at what you have done with it. All for money, clicks, views, fame, attention, all of the above. It's gross. Now, lastly, I did go back and forth on whether or not I was going to mention this or just leave it alone, but I am receiving several comments and a couple of inquiries over on Instagram about it. This rumor that has started because of the Dad Challenge podcast, where he claims that he heard through their lawyer, Alicia's replacing the front window of her house because someone supposedly threw a brick through it.
You should move on to different thumbs, which... New windows put in. So this is what I know. Alicia tried to sue me, okay, or is trying to. I don't know if she's still doing it. I don't know. Something tells me that maybe she got tapped out with this tax situation. She's got to pay more money than she thought. And to frivolously sue someone from Canada is going to cost her tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, to sue me. And she'll lose. So it's just not worth the risk. But she might still do it. We'll see. I guess when they got back to my lawyer, they're like, yeah, someone threw a brick through their window. And I didn't ask if I could say that or not because I didn't know if you're like, it's whatever. I guess if they said to us, I'm allowed to say it because they didn't say you can't say it. So they're getting their windows fixed because someone apparently threw a brick through the window. I don't know if I said that before or not. Maybe I did. But that's the thing, right? There's two parts of this. You are a terrible person if you go do physical harm to someone's home, property, or personhood ever. Like, I know that they are not nice. I know that Alicia is not a nice person, right? I know that she exploits her children. I know that she's kind of a dink, right? And she's just terrible to these kids, and it's just bad what she does. Of course, an all-around bad person, okay? But there's never, ever, ever an excuse ever to ever commit violence or throw something at somebody or to stalk somebody or to approach them in public ever with malice, right? If you want to go say hi and get an autograph, that's a little bit different.
And again, people, it's time to step up to the next level. James has got 1 million subscribers, so now we have to take it to the next level. We are going to hire a private investigator, James and Micah, to find out what happened to H. And I'm never going to expose where he is or what happened to him, unless it's a dangerous place. And if I find out that you guys rehomed him on a Facebook group, then there is going to be a daily video on you every single day until I get canceled off YouTube. A daily video. I'm going to picket outside of your house with people. I'm going to your hometown and I'm going to picket you. I'm going to bring a bunch of people to hang outside your house and picket what dirtballs you are. The next step is the next step. That's what's going to happen. We're going to actually truly find out through private eyes. And if that doesn't work, we're actually going to start coming to picket where you are. And we're going to film this whole process. Come on out to the end of your driveway and have a conversation. Because as soon as COVID's over, I'm driving down to Ohio. And I'm going to stand outside of your house with pickets, with a bunch of people who hate you. And we're going to picket outside your house. And if we get pushed away, we're going to go downtown where you live. And we're going to hand out pamphlets about how dirtball you are. Okay? Everybody is going to know who you are by the time we're done this. Bigger YouTubers out there. We're going to lobby the bigger YouTubers and the bigger people with bigger platforms to call this guy out. It is now mission critical to get this guy off YouTube. He's got 1 million subscribers and it's only going up. Okay? Whatever we're doing, we need to step the game up 1 million.
What I will say about that is, number one, I don't trust Debt Challenge podcast. I think most of y'all know that by now. But secondly, if it is true, first of all, without solid proof, it goes back to the whole thing, like, you have to be careful with what you're just putting out there. Even if an attorney said it, like, unless I have concrete proof, I would be watching my tongue, especially considering the seat that he's in, but that's another conversation. The second point that I want to say is, if this is true, and if somebody did that, then number one, obviously, Alicia needs to get her kids offline and figure out how she is going to keep her home safe for the sake of her children. But in the same breath, I also just don't know what to believe, because even though I don't believe Dad Challenge podcast, I also don't believe Alicia. So when it comes to these things that are so frightening and crazy, I just don't know what to believe. The window could have been broken a number of ways, and unless I see proof of it, I don't know. But I did want to address it because there were numerous comments on my last Dougherty Dozen video about that, and then when I went over to Instagram, I also had a few DMs. So I wanted to at least throw it in here. Nobody has any right to show up to somebody's private residence, even if Alicia has been very irresponsible with sharing her location and things like this. That still doesn't give anyone the right to show up to a private residence, to confront somebody, say hi to somebody, say, I like your family. Not the time, not the place. It's inappropriate, and it's very traumatizing for these children. It's not okay. So I disagree with Alicia. I also disagree with weirdos showing up at a private residence. Whether or not children are there, that's not okay. It's never going to be okay. And I think that most of y'all know where I stand. We don't go real life. Unless you see animal or child abuse on film, there is no reason to be calling CPS and calling authorities and things like this. Take the evidence, go to the authorities. If you don't have evidence and all you have is a rumor mill and a bunch of people who, can't stand this family vlogging channel or this influencer, rumors can get out of control very quickly, and it's for me, it's not worth risking my reputation to constantly come and say, oh, I heard this, I heard that, blah, blah, blah. It's just really difficult, especially when you're dealing with something as sensitive as kids being exploited and possibly being put in harm's way. But either way, I didn't want to get up on my soapbox, but I think I think most of y'all know how I feel about this entire thing. I don't like Alicia. I don't respect her. I agree with the message of let's not exploit our kids and make money off their backs. But I can also disagree with some of the messengers who are trying to spread said message. I just think that the bullying and a lot of the things that I've seen said about her gets in the way. It muddies the waters. And it's not entertaining, it's not funny, and it's not cute. That's my opinion. So either way, yeah, I think that's going to be it. I think about these Kinship kids. I think of all her kids, but especially these Kinship kids because I don't know what their past was like. But to walk into the Dougherty home and not only not be protected, but also be thrown into this social media world where people are making comments about your appearance and, oh, he's so fine, she's so pretty, she's gaining weight, he's losing weight, whatever it is. I can't imagine the impact that that's going to have on these kids. And they are old enough, they're going to remember this for the rest of their life. I really do my best to not heavily focus on the kids, but I did feel like in this situation, it was just such a Exhibit A example of the negative impact that Alicia has had on these Kinship kids specifically. And I also wanted to talk about those other things. So I think that's going to be it for now. Yeah. If you like the video, please leave a like and a comment. And if you'd like to see more from me in the future, please subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.